Hi, this is Beth Mackinney from FacePaintcom, and today we're going to do a review of the Mikim paints and help you become acquainted with them. The next thing we're going to look at are the Mikim AQ Color Metallics, and I have three. The gold is a very yellow golden gold. It's beautiful. This copper is really lovely. I love the copper color. And then I have this blue. It's kind of a slate blue, maybe a little bit of a phthalo blue perhaps. But I'm going to do them with a brush and also with a sponge so you can see what they look like going on. And I'll start with the gold. These are a little more firm than the color creams. So you can see, gives very nice coverage. And I'm going to try it with the line work. So you can see what that looks like. Again, really beautiful coverage. It is a beautiful gold on the skin. And then we're going to do it with the sponge. Again, I'm not going to use a lot of moisture, just a spritz to the sponge. These are a creamy paint. Let's see, get a little more on there. And I'll sponge that on. Probably picked up too much, but again, really nice coverage. You're going to get very solid coverage if you're doing some kind of design that requires a lot of metallic gold, and it's got a beautiful metallic sheen. So I was really impressed with that. We're going to let that dry. I'm going to do some other colors in the meantime. I think I'll try the copper, and as long as I've got my sponge, do the same thing with that. Just show you how it looks. Again, beautiful rosy copper color with really good coverage. Sometimes metallics can be a little sheer, but these give good coverage. So I'm going to use it with the brush so you can see how that works. And there you have that. Again, even with the brush, really excellent coverage. And now also with the teardrop. You can see that those give really beautiful colors, beautiful coverage, pretty good line work. Now this, is it dry yet? This is dry. So what I want to do is show you that it does smear a little bit, very comfortable on the skin, not tight, not dry, but it will smear a little bit. Most metallics will smear, so that's not really unusual. Some maybe more than others. This one does smear a little bit. Do the copper. Copper didn't quite smear as much, but you just have to understand that's a trade-off. If you're doing a design on the arm, you could always use a fixing spray to help it not, help seal it a little bit better. But that's what it looks like. Now, I'm going to flip my arm over, and we're going to do the blue. And again, I'm going to sponge. Now the concern with blues often is it going to come off? Most of the time, face paint will come off pretty well if you soap it enough to break up the face paint. That was a tip that I got from a veteran face painter way back when I started, which hasn't really been that long ago. It's only been a few years. But she suggested that you definitely soap it well because, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, that's a good idea because the soap does break it down, just like it would break down makeup, because it is makeup. And we're going to do some teardrops, get some pretty nice lines with that. You can see it better because it's a darker color, but this is a beautiful blue. And I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to wash it off so you can see how well it comes off. So I just washed off the blue, and you can see there is a faint blue tinge, especially here where I put it on with the brush and just a tiny bit with the teardrops, probably because it was heavier in that spot, possibly. I had to really scrub, and I had to wash it twice to get it to this level. So blues, always be wary of those, but of course the gold and copper came off beautifully. So, but it's just not unusual for blues to want to stain a little bit. And our final four colors that we're going to look at are yellow and red. These are all AQ Mikim colors. and the black, which everyone always wants to know, how does the black work? How does it perform? And the white, because these are our mainstays. We use these all the time as face painters, so we always want to know how well do they do. How is their line work? Are they nice and dense? I'm going to start with sponging a little bit, and this time I'm going to spray my yellow just a tiny bit. I'm going to pick it all up with a sponge anyway. So, and I'll sponge with the yellow. It's a little sheer, but that's not unusual for yellows. They can be a little sheer, but it is a really beautiful bright yellow. And I'm going to use, I've still got some of my blue left in my brush. There we go. I'm going to work up some yellow. And you can see it is, again, a little bit of a sheer color. And now I'm going to pick up some for teardrops so you can see the line work. And again, it's a little bit sheer for a yellow. So that's up to you, depending on what you use it for. If you want more coverage than that, you may want to go with a different brand. But it is a beautiful color. The color is good. Next color we're going to look at is red. And red is often used in superhero designs, tiger designs. We use it quite a bit. So in sponging, it's got a good balance. I don't think it's too cool or too warm red, and it covers pretty well. And I'm going to mix up some on my brush. Really does give very nice coverage for the red. And then I'm going to use one more brush to show you the line work, although you can probably see it pretty well just from the flat brush. But again, we have good line work there. It shows up pretty well. So, and I like the balance. I think it would be a great color to use for designs. Starting out with, or for white, I mean. I'm starting out with just using a flat brush. I'd say it's comparable to something like, see, I'm going to put that pink in there, to Paradise. I'm going to do my teardrops with this brush instead. Pretty nice lines. And then I'm going to show you how it performs with a sponge, a little water. It is a creamier paint, of course, and it gives pretty good coverage for the white. And again, it's very comfortable on the skin. For the black, I usually don't sponge black. If I have to use black for some kind of design where it covers a lot of the face, I usually just use a wide flat brush. I like the coverage I get from that better, so I'm not even going to sponge this time. I'm just going to use the flat brush. And it does give a nice coverage. And then I'm going to use my round brush. One thing that's a little different about the Mikim paint is that it comes in these vials that are slightly different. They stand up higher. They're smaller around. So that might work well for some people if they want to fit more colors in their kit. And they also screw together, so you could actually stack them if you wanted to, which makes them handy and quick to put away. So I'm doing my lines, and they give some pretty sharp points. Looks pretty good. And the coverage is pretty black. So meanwhile, we've been waiting for this other side of the arm to dry entirely. And so I'm going to make sure my hands are dry, because I don't want any moisture on my fingers. I'm going to show you that the yellow really doesn't smear. It stays pretty well. So the AQ colors aren't as prone to smudging as metallics, but everybody's metallic is more prone to smudging. So a little bit of smudging with the red. The white, again, really not much that we're seeing for smudging. The black isn't dry, so I can't really try that one, but the white seems pretty stable once it's on your skin and once it's dry. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that the review today will help you understand a little bit more about the Mikim product and decide whether it is the best fit for you when you're working in your face painting business. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and don't forget to subscribe to the FacePaintcom channel. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.